from figurepainting.co.uk, and today I received my monthly copy of Wargames Illustrated, which I'm going to review. I'm not connected to the magazine, I don't advertise, it's not a plug or anything, just what's in it and what I think about this month. Okay. To introduce that, if you're not aware of Wargames Illustrated, the issues tend to be themed, and the theme this month is based more on the Duke of Marlborough. So I'll give the editor a chance to introduce things. Dan Falconbridge. A couple of times a year, we like to devote the theme of Wargames Illustrated to a specific giant of military history. The subject of this month's theme not only looms large in history, he also has the honour of having a wargaming period named after him. Controversial. Like many of his contemporaries, John Churchill, 1st Duke of Marlborough, was ruthlessly ambitious and relentless in his pursuit of wealth, power and social advancement. Unlike many of his contemporaries, the public did get rather more value for their money with Marlborough. With his leadership of the English and Allied armies during the late 17th and early 18th centuries, helping to establish Britain as a major world power. The politics, tactics and campaign logistics that are important aspects of Marlborough's generalship are not easily translated to the tabletop. However, in this Marlburian, I don't like that word, themed issue, we give it a good shot, and I think you are going to be interested and inspired by our articles on young Churchill, being Marlborough, in battle and being Marlborough on campaign. Will also point you in the right direction with regards to Marlburian miniatures and set you up with several scenario ideas centered around the Duke. Only a small portion of this magazine is actually given over to Marlborough, however, and elsewhere you'll find regular features like Club Focus, Designer's Notes, How-To, and Rules Showcase, as well as World War II articles from the Battlefront studio, and subjects as diverse as Terminator, World War I, and Thuggies. Happy reading and gaming. Okay, well, there's a quick look at the contents. Well, the camera picks that up. I'll run through them as I go through the magazine, as a website doing miniature war games. First thing, events, upcoming events. So there we go. Lock myself out, might see it better. Let's give you a few ones. You've got Hammerhead coming up in Nottingham. Oh, hang on. Oh, that's the 5th, I see. I haven't got the dates then. 6th is Overlord, 12th, Albanic, 13th is the West Midlands, 7th and 20th, Cold Wars in Lancaster, PA, Pennsylvania, 18th 20, Hot Lead in Canada, 18th to 20th as well is Triples in Sheffield, 31st to 3rd of April, I guess, is Adepticon in Schaumburg, Illinois, USA. We've got April, first big event being Salute. Okay, so there's some stuff at Wargames Illustrated. A mistake here. The heading talks about Imperial Chinese armies, and the article's about something completely different. It's about British Redcoat versus French Fusiliers, actually, the article, so that's a bit confusing. All these things happen. Yeah, it'll happen there. Anyway, Cold Wars and something about the movement of the Cold Wars show. It's changed. The Royal Armouries Leeds offers wargaming events galore. That's worth looking into, having a read about. There's the Perrys and David Marshall made this brilliant model of the Battle of Agincourt, which is moving up to York, I believe. I want people to put on books or games. Subscribe to WI. Not the thing my wife goes to once a month. Right, here we go. First article, Duke of Marlborough. And it's a lot of history. I've read through this. It's early days, first command. Figures by Foundry. Photographed by Kevin Dallimore. I noticed Kevin didn't actually paint all the figures this time. Okay, more figures. All those pictures, but again, it's just history, really. Some uniforms, which is quite nice. More Marlborough. And there's North Star, which I have to say do very well this issue because their figures are shown on almost half the pages of the magazine. And nice big adverts back it up as well. And I got the new game coming out, On Guard, which is mentioned in here as well. And I should be getting that soon also to review. So see what I think of that. And we've got another North Star outfit facing it. Includes Frostgrave. Just realised, I guess, a big mention in this magazine as well. So, and Kevin Danamore's in, got a mention on North Star as well. So there we are. So there's big mentions for them this month. And then we've got the other favourites of Wargames Illustrated, which is Flames of War stuff. If you like Flames of War, this is your magazine. This is about the Pacific now. Let's say now we get one book per army, rather than two armies in the same book. I call it better value, but now you have two bigger books. I'll tell you more about them. As usual, loads of beautiful, beautiful pictures. And this is the real thing about Wargames Illustrated. It's the quality of the painted figures and photography is fantastic. You do get a lot of Flames of War. Long articles. So I don't usually read. And there's Flames of War advert to back that up. It's a very commercial issue, I have to say. These are interesting. I missed the launch of these somehow. All games now doing line lancers. I'll probably get some of those, 28mm. I hope someone asks me to paint them for them. Looks like a lot of these figures. Right, first article on Marlborough. Excuse me, I'm a bit of cold, swimming this morning. Football last night. Get a bit of a sniffle. Okay, so we got North Star figures. And some more pictures of North Star figures. And it looks quite nice. Langton Miniatures, 1200 Anglo-Dutch War, which it talks about a lot in this article. And both these articles are all about how wonderful Marlborough was, how he hauled his way up the greasy pole, fighting the Dutch and various other wars he got involved in, France, fighting for them. Some rather nice, beautiful pictures. So look, we've got North Star figures below, North Star figures above, North Star figures below. So it's a bit of a catalogue for them this month. They are very beautiful. There's some more historic information, more North Star figures. It's actually got a slot here. There's a sidebar all about North Star's great figures for this period. Right, get a proper sales pitch this month, can't they? Okay, alright, Victrix Plastic Ancients, some Numidians. I've tried that. It says Victrix got a whole release schedule of Ancients, which is great news. Ancient Spanish and Armoured Warriors, this is for 2016. Let's put that on there a second. Pause and look at that. Camera can just focus on it. Looks great. Balearic Slingers, Ancient Samnites, and Armoured Warriors and Armoured Warriors. I've been reading a lot of stuff about the Samnites in the early Roman republics, when he called Romans at that stage. Latians, whatever. Ancient Macedonian pikemen, Lates, Successor pikemen, his Papists, Ancient Numidian cavalry. Sculpting of all the above is now complete, and all sets are now at the tooling stage. Other sets are in the pipeline, including Punic War elephants, per Napoleonic sets, Napoleon to other periods. Well, that sounds great. I look forward to it. It's Horizon Wars, a bit of sci-fi. Another game coming up from Osprey. With Osprey, I'm really cracking up the games. Now this one, I did check. This is great. They did. I wish I'd reviewed last month's because they did a great thing about what you call it, the Eastern Fronts, but the sort of campaigns in the Middle East in World War One. So if you want a war game, World War One, I recommend it. You got cavalry, you got more decisive battles. You've got the sort of Lawrence Arabia types coming out the deserts, raiding. Rail lines, all sorts of scenarios, a lot more than just static trenches, which you tend to think of on the Western Front. And there's a lot more history. There's a lot of history in this magazine. I go on to the game, which does look good. I want to quick look through it, scenarios, and the rules they're using is actually a sort of I think I read through it, some sort of call to action rule set, which have been adapted. So I think that's the kind of thing Wargame magazines should have. How we adapted rules to make the scenario. Here's the scenario. Here's something you can try yourself with your figures, you know, it's great. Love that. Some Griffin Beast figures there. So this is, yeah, Griffin Beast and Woodbine. Beautiful figures, beautiful pictures. The eye candy every month in Wargames Illustrated is superb. My not getting the best resolution. It's supposed to be high res on this camera, but things like that are fantastic. Lots of background, lots of history. This has actually got lots of scenarios. It's got all the details of platoons, figures. Magazine's worth it for that article, I think. Right. More about how wonderful Marlborough was on campaign. And what this is about. Lovely painted figures. Who is Graham? There we are. Very nice work, Graham. Well done. Example, let's hold that for a second. And what these articles are about is the problems that Marlborough had managing social life, social climbing, conflicting commanders, that kind of thing. So you got some random stuff about making friends. Your wife does stuff. I think you have certain elements of allies that Dutch don't turn up. Things like that. So it's adding some character. Now, I've played this sort of period with Sam Mustafa's rules before Blucher. God, I must have written this down. Anyway, I used to play those games a lot. Maurice, that's it, Maurice. Maurice. That's got a lot of flavour as well. Seems to be a big part of that game. Loads and loads of people. Eye candy, some scenarios, some fun. Let's do it right. 30s. Great figures, great company. I don't know Heinz as well. They all seem good. They're advertisers for us a long, long time, so good for them. Now this would come from nowhere, this article. White line fever. And it's not Wales spilling the ball and getting near the try line. No, this is about sort of what I call Mad Max games. It's just sort of car-based stuff. And if you're into that or never tried it, Car Wars, I loved Car Wars back in Davis T. Jackson games. Loads of stuff about it here. And I didn't realise there's a 5th edition out. There's new games out. It's well served. He's got some stuff about converting vehicles, how to make your own games, games that are out there. Excellent article. I think let's give a name check. It's so good. Dave Taylor. Well done, Dave. Another 2 pages showing games that are available, figures, things they do on their club, how they convert their vehicles. Really excellent. It's a massive, massive article. It's like buying a book. So again, any interest at all in these kind of Car Wars? I mean, this is sold the magazine for me this month. This and that scenario. And then we have, yes, my favourite article. Barry Hilton. Well done for you, Barry. He doesn't have the same view about Marlborough. He's closer to sort of my outlook on history. And he talks a lot more about the dirty tricks the guy pulled, how he abandoned commands that he had, how he dumped allies in it, betrayed friends. Basically did whatever he had to do to get on and become the big hero, Mr. Big, for that period. What they call him in the beginning, the giant of the period. And also, I don't blow the joke here, because I don't think it's a great joke. This thing, England's last great general. What about Wellington and, I don't know, Monty and all these other guys? The point of this is that it's coming up to 1705 with the Act of Union, where it becomes Great Britain and stops being England. So he's also Britain's first great general and England's last great general. There were other people who get on to British and English and all that kind of stuff. And how Wales fits into all this doesn't really count. But anyway, take your picks on what you think about Marlborough. You'll know a lot more about him after you've read this. And I would recommend Barry's article and also excellent little scenarios there about betraying and, I don't know, just getting ahead. What have we got here? You got sort of random units turning up and manoeuvring. It's a really interesting little skirmish. And he's always a good writer anyway, Barry. We enjoy his stuff. Now this, another bizarre one. I didn't expect to see where this came from. My firstborn son is called Arnie, so there we go. I'm obviously a fan. Actually, not really more of his other stuff, but there you go. His violin playing, it's very good. This is the miniatures game the Guardian Angel. This is campaign scenario 3. So where have I been? I've missed this completely. I've had a read of it. So that's interesting. I might have to get that. For the obvious reasons. We've got contemporary wrestling and stuff like that. I have to say, how much is this magazine this month? How do I get my subscription? £4.50. It's huge. It's what about Marlborough again? In battle this time. I'm sure it's North Star figures being shown off again. Graham Greene, oh Foundry, sorry, by Graham Greene. Yeah, nice work again. And there's a choose your rules, take up the commanding position upon the field. Battlefield deployment, and there's a scenario, which is nice. It's kind of stuff you want to see in the Wargame magazine. Loads more inspirational pictures. You're not buying all star figures by the end of this magazine. Foundry figures. Hasn't worked. Going back to Planes of War. And it was a while when this magazine was doing all Planes of War. It became a bit of a, it's a bit like Running Tonight. White Dwarf became a sales piece. This became a sales piece of Planes of War. They've reined that back in, and there are a lot more games in here now. So if, like me, you stopped reading this a while ago, all it was Planes of War. It's not like that anymore, but there is still a lot of Planes of War in there if you're interested. I should also do a page count. It's massive for fighting battles with the World War II stuff. And a figure roundup. And in fairness, other figure manufacturers aren't mentioned. There's a list of different scales from Bacchus at 6mm all the way up to some of the big stuff. I'd like more detail on that. Crossgrave, of course, from the same stable, same game. I don't know how popular it is, but there's some additional elements, some beautiful painted figures. And this one, another random article. This magazine this month, it calls it a Malburan article. It's so much more. They've sold themselves short, I think. What about Thuggies? Which I know something about. Like me, you probably read the Sharp books when he's in India early on, Sharp's Tiger and all that. He comes across the Thuggies. And then thumping nails into people's heads and strangling people and all that kind of thing. And in here, they're shown very much as bandits from a death cult. There's some real pictures of history, stuff I hadn't realised at all. And some scenarios to drop into your games to add a bit of spice. And of course, on the anniversary of the tragic fighting in Verdun, which obviously so much was a French affair. 800,000 died over a few months, with the casualties roughly split between the French and the Germans. So horrendous. And France almost fell, yes. The German plan was to try and bleed France white, as one of the generals put it. So, anyway, loads of figures, objectives. I'm going to do the whole 800,000. I don't need that many figures. No, it's a sort of platoon level, actually. There you go. I think this was. Sorry about that, what rules it was. So I don't pick them through. Anyway, it's a skirmish type scenario. Although, well, maybe making a skirmish. Beautiful figures, beautifully painted. Now, a nice little craft article. And who has done it? Yeah, it's Paul Davis again. I was like Paul Davis' articles. Making some buildings. Oh, I'm running on the time a bit. Let's slow this down a bit. Yeah, there's buildings going in. How to make them. And then, oh God, another game I end up getting. Osprey, like I said, cranking out the wargaming books at the moment. So many of them, some beautiful figures. See if you can recognize those figures. And then a rules showcase for OSC, which I hadn't heard of before. It's quite interesting. Here we are. It's near-modern rules aimed to simulate the fast-paced battlefield of the 21st century. Skirmish rules. There's a picture of the cover. It's a good idea. So I'm ready in great detail. I'm not really into the modern stuff so much, but there are some nice figures. Playthrough. Be interested. You'll know a lot more about the game by the end. Oh, hang on. Club Focus, Peterborough. The posh. There we are. They're up to pretty much variety of games, all that kind of stuff. Not yet. And then there's another Flames of War outfit. Salutes. The show Partisan. All shows here. West Midlands. They've got lots of suppliers. Good to see people making stuff for Wargamers. Good on you guys. I'll give you a quick mention. Oh, this looks great. Skullandcrown.com. That's SKULLNCROWN.com. 1/300th laser cut mahogany plywood model kits designed with the gamer in mind. Easy to assemble and sturdily built for action with plenty of room for detail. They look awesome. Look at those. Oh, try them. I like look at those. And we got railways for wargaming. Interesting. SarissaPrecision.com. Laser cut buildings and wargaming accessories. Yeah, so the railway hobby guys are coming into our market. That can only be good. There's some beautiful stuff there. Conquest Games with their sort of plastic assembly kits and figures. Very nice. Oh, here's the Terminator Genesis. So I guess they're the figures to go with the Terminator game. Try to get my ignorance on that. Riverhorse.eu. Ah, a River Horse. I think that's Saboteur. Oh, they're the old Games Workshop Warhammer designer, Saboteur. Alexander Saboteur. That was his company, isn't it? So that'd be interesting. He's a very clever guy. There are lots of chess variants and stuff. So one of the more talented guys. Urban blocks, awesome. You just buy the buildings, plug them down, you can move your figures around, so fit the zombies or just fighting in buildings. Trent Mitchers, looks really cool figures there. Some painting company, you know what they're like, Art Master Studios. I don't advertise this magazine, but they always do as well. I don't know what this is. SaberSquadrons.com. I don't know. Lists and organisations for Warsaw back in the late 80s. Free to download equipment data. They've got some more ads, kind of foreground and the great Dead Man's Hand stuff. Actually, that's really cool. And Stuart and the guys who helped out Dead Man's Hand were in Firestorm Wargames, so there we go. Renegade, some lovely stuff. So the adverts are part of the magazine. They're not. The adverts for the Wargame magazine can be as informative. Part of the board of the Wargame bigger picture company. Yeah, the adverts are as informative as the articles. You see what's going on, what companies are out there, what they're doing. Foreground, do some modern stuff. I really am running on, like various painting services. Magnetic displays, I want to give a special mention. I've been doing them for at least 20 years. They're great. Trevor and his wife does me very well, and I wish them all the best. Good luck. Magnetic faces, accessories, all kinds of stuff. We'll have to check out their website, magneticdisplays.co.uk. CastleReligious.com, they're big, and I don't know them, so I should find out about them. Giants in Miniature, which is a Wargames Illustrated thing, I believe. And then Griffin Bits, supporter on the back. So there you go. A lot of commercial stuff, supporting the major advertisers, which is reasonable. They do most of the stuff in the game, they're supplying the copy. But a lot of nice surprises. Car Wars stuff, very interesting. A few other things in the back. The building's always good. New rule set with the Oscar Sierra Charlie. What's the other thing I fancy they're doing? Oh yeah, that's right, the White Line Fever is their Car Wars. So all in all, I think that's a pretty good issue. A pretty good issue. My first glance, I thought it was just plugging that one line of figures and this myth about, anyway, about England's last great general. But no, there's loads of other stuff in there. I'll give that 7 out of 10. What do you think? Anyway, please leave comments, subscribe. Always good to hear from people. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll try and do this every month. And any other wargaming books I get my hands on. So, bye for now. Keep rolling.